Welcome back, true believers and spectacular Spidey fans, to another Spider-Man PS4 and Avengers Project related video, all in one special. And today's video is one huge question that everyone has on their minds right now in regards to Spider-Man PS4 and the Avengers Project. And that is what you are reading on screen right now. Is Insomniac's Spider-Man exclusive PS4 game within the same universe as Square Enix, Crystal Dynamics, / Eidos Montreal's The Avengers Project game? So, there are a lot, and I do mean a lot, of business aspects to go through when looking at this very question. So, let's start with our boy, the spectacular, the one, the only, amazing Spider-Man. So, Spider-Man, PS4 at least, is directly owned by Sony. It is a Sony-published game, which means, sorry for all you Xbox fans, Nintendo Switch fans, PC gamers, this Spider-Man game will only forever be released on the PlayStation 4 only. Now, this Square Enix, Crystal Dynamics, Eidos Montreal game is multi-platform. That is something that has not been talked about for some reason, but all of Square Enix's games have been multi-platform. And same thing with Crystal Dynamics. For a time, Rise of the Tomb Raider was an Xbox One timed exclusive, and then it was released on the PS4. But that was because Xbox was handling some weird market ship stuff with Tomb Raider, Lara Croft, stuff like that, and Xbox had kind of a one-up on PlayStation with Rise of the Tomb Raider. But Tomb Raider 1 was on every platform, and then Rise of the Tomb Raider was on Xbox One first, and then it came out to PlayStation 4, I believe, a year later. But it eventually came out on PlayStation 4 regardless. But with something like Marvel, especially something with the Avengers, this is a really serious deal, and that would be multi-platform. Being on the Switch, we don't know yet, but I'm assuming it most likely will be. PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, of course, will most likely be the main priority consoles for that game to be on, as well as PC, because Crystal Dynamics and Eidos Montreal's games have always been on every other platform. But just take that into consideration for Rise of the Tomb Raider coming out as a timed exclusive on Xbox One first, and then PS4 afterwards. So that's something really interesting to look at. But that is not the case with Spider-Man PS4 at all. Spider-Man PS4 will release on the PS4. It will stay on the PS4. It will never morph into a Xbox One, PC, or Nintendo Switch game at all. It will only be on the PS4. Now, with all these big gaming industries, Insomniac is not owned by Sony, whereas Crystal Dynamics is a studio that works really close with Square Enix, who is the publisher of this Marvel Avengers game, but they're not the ones making it. And again, some people think, oh, Square Enix, they're making it like Kingdom Hearts style or Final Fantasy style. They're not the ones making it. It's Crystal Dynamics alongside of Eidos Montreal, which made the Deus Ex Machina games, which are really good and all. But for this type of connected universe, they would want to have a full-on third-person action-adventure role-playing game as the genre for the Avengers Project, which I'm going to get more in-depth in a new video, which I will post later, but mainly with these connected universes. So right here, if you've been reading these tweets, on the screen, it says, at Start Replay, these guys are the most professional people when asking this question, because there were 5 other people who asked this same question, but they asked it in the most professional way. Start Replay asked it in the most profound actual way on how you should ask this question to a game developing company like Insomniac Games. So they said, question, will at Insomniac Games hashtag Spider-Man PS4 be in the same world as at Crystal Dynamics and at Eidos Montreal hashtag Avengers Project? And then Insomniac replied, we're excitedly creating an all-new Spider-Man game. Today's Avengers announcement looks awesome. Great time for Marvel fans. So obviously, of course, when they said today, they mean that on January 26th, as you can see down there. And here's the thing. They're really excited about putting a fully AAA next-generation Spider-Man game exclusive on the PS4. They're excited to make that game, of course, and they're totally hyped for any other Marvel or game-related product in general, like Guardians of the Galaxy, Telltale series, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, and also this Avengers project. They would not flat out say, hey guys, Spider-Man PS4 is totally tied into the Avengers project, and in the Avengers project, Spider-Man does this. He fights alongside Iron Man and Captain America while taking down Thanos and all the other Chitauri while fighting in New York City. Why would they say all this stuff? They would not go out of their way, totally just flat out say, yeah, in the same universe. Totally. There's something called a surprise, which you should be looking forward to figure out whether or not these games are connected with one another. And yes, again, Sony owns Spider-Man within the games. Marvel and the cinematic universe and stuff doesn't really apply. Which, again, if you did not know, both Spider-Man PS4 and the Avengers project are not tied into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. A lot of people still don't get this. Spider-Man PS4 is an original standalone story, and the Avengers project is an original standalone story. They both have original, totally 100% creative freedom to do whatever they want for the narrative of this game. Crystal Dynamics for Avengers and Insomniac for Spider-Man. None of them are created within tying to the Marvel Cinematic Universe in any way possible, which is what this article does a really good job of discussing. So, based on that tweet, there was an article talking about that exact same tweet, and they kind of go a little bit more depth in it in regards to exactly who's working on what, how they're handling it, and who is working exactly hand-in-hand with each other. Same thing, Sony and Insomniac are really tight. However, Insomniac is not owned by Sony. They are just a company which their products are owned by Sony. So, for example, Ratchet & Clank is a product of Sony, which is owned by Sony. Spyro the Dragon, same thing. Spider-Man, definitely. But Sunset Overdrive was an Xbox One exclusive. So, again, Insomniac is not owned by Sony, but their products are owned by their respective companies. So, Sunset Overdrive is owned by Microsoft. And, for example, Spider-Man PS4 is owned by Sony. Same thing with the Avengers project, Square Enix, Crystal Dynamics, all that stuff. Crystal Dynamics works underneath Square Enix because that is the publisher. And I'm not sure if Crystal Dynamics is owned by Square Enix. Let me know if that is true or not in the comment section down below. But all of their games that they have made so far connects directly to Square Enix. So I would assume that, yes, Square Enix owns Crystal Dynamics and maybe Eidos Entertainment as well. Or Eidos Montreal, I should say. But again, there's tons of stuff to look at here. Again, the fact they could just say, they could just say flat out, no, we're not tied into the Avengers project. We are very much excited, though, like they say in this article right here, which you can read for yourselves. They could just flat out have said, yeah, we are really excited for Crystal Dynamics and Eidos Montreal's Avengers project. However, we are not tied in with it at all. Again, Spider-Man PS4 is an original game. Avengers project is an original game. Spider-Man, usually within original games such as Web of Shadows, Spider-Man on the PS1, Ultimate Spider-Man, those are games that have not been tied into any Spider-Man movie at all. And in each of those games, there was at least references to other heroes. So, for example, Spider-Man PS1, you interacted with Daredevil, Punisher, Captain America, awesome characters like that. Ultimate Spider-Man, he mentioned Daredevil and Iron Man and Captain America. And in Web of Shadows, of course, you had Moon Knight, Luke Cage, Wolverine, tons of awesome characters within that game. And same thing with Spider-Man PS4. Spider-Man PS4 is an original game, along with the Avengers project being original, standalone creative narratives. Whether or not they're going to connect with one another, we don't know, but at least if they reference the Avengers within each of these games, or if, vice versa. So if the Avengers project references Spider-Man PS4, or if Spider-Man PS4 references the Avengers project in some way, we will know that these games are connected with one another. They are really great studios, both of these people, Insomniac Games and, Square Enix / Crystal Dynamics. We just have to wait and see, guys. We don't know officially. We don't know if it will. We don't know if it won't. But the fact that it is not confirmed for either or still gives me hope and makes me really excited for the future of the Marvel gaming universe, which, again, is another thing. This is a gaming universe that is going to connect with one another. Obviously, the Telltale Guardians of the Galaxy series is not connected within the Marvel Gaming's universe. Same thing with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Those are just standalone titles. Telltale always does their own series, and then Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite doesn't connect with these two. But the Avengers Project and Spider-Man PS4 are two titles that can definitely connect with one another. I hope you enjoyed this video, Spectacular Spy fans. Stay spectacular, everybody. Peace out.